up, everyone? It's your girl, Maxwell. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the Raw Podcast. If you guys have not followed, liked, or subscribed to my YouTube channel, Spotify, or Apple, please do so. You guys' continued support is my motivation, and I appreciate you more than you know. Today, I wanted to jump on here and chit chat with you guys about what I feel is the real beauty flex. We live in a society where we're constantly bombarded with what beauty means, right? And in my opinion, it could be very cookie cutter and stereotypical of what that looks like. I, if you followed, or if you've listened to some of my other episodes, then you know that I grew up in or have grown up in the fashion industry. I'm still in the fashion industry, and I have literally been surrounded by the most beautiful women in the I've lived in Miami, Milan, Germany, and just this is the world that I've lived in and grown up in. I grew up during the 90s supermodel era. So beauty is something that I appreciate. I have a great appreciation for it. And I've seen some of the most beautiful people, in my opinion, in the world. So um, I'm very familiar with the external impact of beauty and what that looks like. But for me, as a person that's grown up in that world, I feel that, and just in the world in general, right? Just with social media and us constantly being told, like, you're not perfect enough and your body's not perfect enough. And, your nose isn't perfect enough and you should get this and fillers and all this stuff. You know, let me say this and preface this. I am not against any of that. If that's what you want to do to make yourself happy, go for it. For me, I'm lucky enough to not have to have done any of that yet, but I'm not going to poo poo it because there might come a point where I want to do it and I don't want to be a hypocrite. So I'll say that. But for me, I just feel like our beauty standards have become somewhat cookie cutter. Okay. Used to be that houses were cookie cutter. Now I feel that it's our beauty standards are cookie cutter. It's you have to have these lips and these teeth and these cheekbones and this hair and these eyelashes. And this is what everything has to be over the top for you to be beautiful. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there's always something to be said about simplicity, and a natural beauty will, in my opinion, always reign over fake beauty, I guess you could say, or artificial beauty. That's just my opinion. Okay, we're all have different takes on what beauty is. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so that's just my take. But for me, the real beauty flex is internal beauty. And the reason why I feel that is number one, no one could ever, no matter what technology advances we have or innovation we have in our world, no one can mimic your inner beauty. No one can mimic your light that you bring into this world. And when you possess that, it sets you apart. So if you have a bunch of beautiful women or people in a room and you tap into who they are, the light that they bring, the energy that they bring, uh, and all the beauty that they bring internally to the outside, that's what's going to differentiate someone who's truly, truly beautiful to somebody who's just aesthetically pleasing. That's my opinion. And the thing is with internal beauty, yes, I feel like in social media and in our world today, it things tap on like touch on it, but they don't really like emphasize the importance of it the way we do emphasize physical beauty. And the thing is that when you're beautiful on the inside, your outside automatically becomes more attractive. And we've all met people who were aesthetically pleasing on the outside and were empty on the inside. Then we've met people who weren't as attractive on the outside, but man, once you got to know who they were and you got to know their personality and they just let their light shine, they became a lot more attractive, right? And I just feel that I understand why, I think, we tend to go for sometimes the things that are easier, and the quick fixes and all those things. And it's hard to do the internal work to really get yourself in a healthy place where you can allow your inner beauty and your light to shine in this world. It takes a lot of work. It's hard shit. You have to deal with yourself. And a lot of us don't like to deal with ourselves. We live in a world where we're constantly escaping ourselves, I feel, or being distracted from who we are. And there's deflection and there's projection, right? People project stuff on you and deflect for themselves. And in order not to do that, we have to become self aware, and we have to deal with our traumas and our hurts, and we have to understand who we want to be, and we have to understand how we want to impact lives and people and our relationships in this world. And that's not easy, right? You have to find the counseling that works for you, or the mentorship that works for you. I mean, for me, I've been in counseling for like a bazillion years, too many to even be able to give you a number. I do mentorships at church, where I work with people to help me figure things out for myself spiritually. Uh, I volunteer because it gives me insight to the world around me, the reality of the world around me. And also, there's nothing like making your like humbling yourself, understanding humility, and um, I feel like really impacting your inner self, then giving to other people, giving back to your community, and getting to know the people within your community, right? And making a difference within your community. So, all these things that if we tap into them, if we pour into them, if we deal with them, they allow us to have a light that shines into this world that cannot be matched. It is unmatched. There's nothing in this world that can mimic or reciprocate, not reciprocate, so we're looking for pretty much just be a copy of who you are when it comes to your internal beauty. You're one of a kind. We can look alike on the outside, but we can never be the same on the inside. And when you really work on who you are as a person, and you work on allowing the world to see your inner beauty and shining your light, it's um what makes you beautiful on the outside, but I think it also is what not only makes the world fall in love with you in a positive way, but allows you to fall in love with yourself. And I think when you do all that internal work, you feel beautiful on the inside. And that comes across on the outside. And I think that's just so crucial. And I think it's also something we're really lacking in our world today. Um, we've all been in rooms where somebody has entered a room with like bad juju and bad energy, and the way they suck the life out of that room. But then we've also been in rooms with people who have that light, and that thing about them that shows that they love themselves, they love other people, they love life. And you want to take a little piece of that with you, right? You want to break a little piece of that off and hold on to that, because it leaves you feeling really, really good. And if we could all work on ourselves and allow us to emit that light in our relationships with the people around us, and let it be a domino effect, imagine how beautiful this world can be. Imagine how maybe some of the emphasis that we put on the exterior, we can put on the interior, and just be beautiful as a whole being, and not just in one aspect of a being, right? Not just on the external, but also on the internal. And I know this is hard. I know this is hard because I've done the work, and I continue to do the work. My goal in life is to always be growing into a better version of me. Not saying that who I am today isn't great, but as I live life, I hope to continue to impact people, and understand myself better, right? And understand my purpose, and how I want to, like I already said, this impact people, but shine my light into this world. So, I hope this allows, brings a little bit of an awareness of what I feel that we're lacking in our society today, um, and brings it to the forefront, and allows us to maybe somebody that's listening or watching, this ignites something inside you that you're like, you know what, I I'm say you're beautiful on the outside, and you're like, but I don't like this about me on the inside. And I think if I did this on the inside, imagine how much more beautiful I would be, or how much more beautiful I can make this world even more important. Right? You can make this world more beautiful by being a more beautiful version of who you are, not just aesthetically, but internally. And I just think that's very important. So I wanted to come on here and chat with you guys a little bit about that today. Um, I think inner beauty is the real true flex. I think it's what differentiates us from each other. I think that's really what makes us unique. I think that our inner beauty is God's gift to ourselves and to this world. But I do know that we have to put work into it. So I hope that we will all continue to work on ourselves internally. And listen, again, I'm a proponent for physical beauty. I am going to come on here and do a little series on health and fitness and all those things because those things matter as well. But I like the fact that, leading with who we are internally is, that's what I want to lead with because that's where it all begins. And then the other things that could be challenging as well, like health and fitness and taking care of ourselves externally, but also internally in a different way. Um, I think following with those because me putting the work into myself allows me to love myself, and nothing matters if I don't love myself because I will not have the ability to love anybody, shine light on anybody, and it doesn't matter how beautiful I am externally, doesn't matter what I wear externally. If I'm not beautiful on the inside, then nothing on the outside will ever be beautiful at the end of the day. Period. And story. So tune in next week. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. But tune in next week because I am going to do a special tribute to my dad for Father's Day and chat about him a little bit. And until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful week.